Hello everyone, I am Bonilla and we are the presenter of the Group 9 entitled The Philippine Executive and Redemocratization. The Philippine Executive and Redemocratization. The new democracy or restored democracy is deemed to have been consolidated when its formal and informal rules of operation, as embodied in the Constitution, are widely understood and accepted, and political actors behave as that it begins to hold. The start of Cory years. Corazon Aquino announced a voluntary government with a Freedom Constitution and called for Constitutional Commission at 1986. On the basis of the new Constitution, 6 years term for the President. Aquino exercised executive powers from 1986 to 1992. In 1992 president elections, Fidel V. Ramos emerged as the winner and completed the full term in 1992 to 1998 as a second president under the 1987 Constitution. Joseph Estrada started 6 years term in 1998 until 2004, but he resigned from the office in January 2001 on account of the people power referred as EDSA 2. The Vice President, Gloria Arroyo, was sworn into office as the next president to complete Estrada's term. Next is the period of redemocratization. The period since 1986 has been characterized by redemocratization. This presupposes that there was democracy in the Philippines that was lost and should be brought back in place. The picture was Corazon Aquino take oath of office before Chief Justice Claudio Tejanque Sr. in Club Filipino, San Juan in February 25, 1986. Next is the people power downfall of the dictatorship and democratic transition.
People power downfall of the dictatorship and democratic transition. The events in February 1886 capped the years of the opposition to the Marcos dictatorship and ushered the Philippines to a new phase in its political history. The February 1886 IDSA People Power, now known as IDSA 1, was triggered by the confluence of immediate events that unleashed the lingering disenchantment of the people in a long-drawn struggle of the opposition against the Marcos rule. Immediately after she assumed office, Aquino started the democratic transition. She issued Proclamation Number 1, declaring the sovereignty resides in the people. Proclamation Number 2, lifting the Marcos suspension of the privilege of writ of habeas corpus. Corazon Aquino. She herself ran for president in the February 7, 1986 snap elections and contested the proclamation of Marcos as the winner on grounds of electoral fraud. She was popularly called had the moral authority and unifying force to challenge Marcos. Cory became the heroine, the undoubted widow, the model of the contemporary women, and she was the symbol of the united opposition against Marcos. She courageously led a civil disobedience campaign against Marcos and accepted the challenge to be the leader of her country. As she entered the political limelight, Cory's political strength was referred to as the Cory magic. Cory's political style as president has been attributed to her personal characteristics such as being a devout Catholic, fatalistic orientation, in her being conciliatory. Her support came from the so-called mass-based, referring to the church, business community, moderate labor, even from the military. According to the Joker Arroyo, the millions who voted for Cory in the snap election and the millions who joined the EDSA revolution has one single thing in their minds: to drive out Marcos and in his autocratic government. She was self-aware. She was self-aware of her role as transition president in her mandate to bring about the transition from the Marcos dictatorship to the arrested democracy. Fidel V. Ramos, widely known to be Corazon Aquino anointed successor, Ramos was elected in 1992, considered minority president, having garnered only 24% of the total number of votes to be elected. Ramos' entry into politics came after his retirement from the military, and he epitomized the type of the military politician. When Aquino assumed power, she appointed Ramos as her chief of staff. Later, upon his retirement as the Secretary of Defense, President Ramos completed his 6-year term and made himself accountable for the record and legacy of his presidency and administration through public assessment. He resisted the moves for charter change that would enable himself to stay power in violation of the 1987 constitutions. The voters in Class D, lower middle class and poor, and A, very poor or destitute, less education. Estrada political and administrative skills has been honed to some extent by his instinct as mayor of the municipality of San Juan during the Marcos presidency. He earned credits for some accomplishment and citation as outstanding mayor, and for most nationalists, an award for public administration as one of the 10 outstanding young men and as most outstanding Metro Manila mayor. In post-EDSA 1, he was elected senator in 1987 and the vice president of the Philippines in 1992. Stories of his drinking, gambling, and humanizing event glamorize his manhood. His political style before and during the presidency employed the movie script formula and the propaganda strategy of short, catchy slogans and statements to evoke emotions and easy recall by the masses. In his presidential campaign, Estrada played his pro-masses image and announced pro-poor programs and that cuffed the support of some progressive and electoral group inclined toward such an agenda. Estrada's presidency was short of the fall term due to the Ilocos Sur Governor Luis Chavez Singson impeachment call for the revelation of Estrada's involvement in an illegal number game. Joseph was changed and detained for the case of plunder. Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, daughter of the former President Diosdado Macapagal. She willingly acknowledged the title Gloria La Bandera, explaining that ended her paternal great-grandmother and her grandmother worked as La Bandera to earn for their family. Her political career began upon the appointment by the President Corazon Aquino to the post of Undersecretary of the Department of Trade and Industry. As Vice President of Estrada, she chose to be the Secretary of Social Welfare and Development until her resignation at the height of political crisis that besieged President Estrada. President Macapagal Arroyo won her own term of office as the president in the 24 election against her versus rival, the very popular actor Fernando Poe Jr., But the following year, her presidency was rocked by the release of a tape, Hello Garcia scandal, that purportedly recorded her phone conversation with the Office of the Commission on Election about ensuring her victory at polls. In defense, Arroyo and her supporters directed their efforts at strengthening political support for her administration and proving her effective governance and performance. So that's all, and thank you.